The official USCIS approval rate for EB-5s in 2012 was 80%, which is really good. But there are a number of reasons why people could get denials. And the first is not working with an experienced immigration attorney. So EB-5 is probably one of the most complex applications that we do in immigration. And working with an immigration attorney that has experience in EB-5 is able to analyze investment documents for job creation to make sure that they comply with the EB-5 requirements. And as well, because we have so many changes in EB-5, it's such a dynamic area of law, making sure that everything is compliant for EB-5 purposes. In addition to reviewing the investment documents for immigration purposes, the immigration attorney also works with the investor directly on their source of funds, which, as you know, the USCIS requires that investments come from a lawful source. If the attorney isn't experienced, they're not able to put together a complete analysis that meets USCIS requirements, and that can result in a denial. The second reason we have a denial rate, I think, is when people don't choose a good agent in their local country to work with. An agent is critical for helping to guide an investor through the process. They work with them on collecting the initial source of funds documents, deciding on what needs to be translated, what doesn't need to be translated, working with the immigration attorney on determining what documents are needed to complete the source of funds and what aren't needed, and also for helping the investor and their family through a very emotional process and making sure that they file correctly and that they've done their diligence on the regional center. The third reason I think we see denials is project problems themselves or regional center problems. It's critical to do due diligence on the project and the regional center that the investor is investing in. There's a whole number of new regional centers. You know, when I started doing this, there were 5 in the country, and now we have over 300. And, you know, when you go into an investment, you have to treat it like any other investment. You want to know what's the experience that the project owners have in developing a similar type of project. What is their success rate in doing the same thing? What's the capital stack of the project? Have they put in their own money? Do they have skin in the game? You want to look at all those factors. You also want to look at USCIS factors. Have they gotten EB-5 approvals in the past? Have they had denials? What's the status of the regional center? So I think those are the main reasons. And for an investor working with the right immigration attorney and the right migration agent, I think it's very easy for them to make a good selection. I also recommend that investors speak with a financial individual or a business attorney to review if the documents are compliant from that perspective. I've been working with USIS for several years. I think you've put together a great team of professionals. All of your processors work with investors one-on-one, give them the kind of attention that they need in going through the immigration process. We work hand in hand with them on determining what source of funds documents are needed, putting them together and doing it in an expeditious manner so investors have their petitions filed quickly and know that they're working with an agency that has experience doing Vietnamese EB-5 and is probably the leading agency in terms of numbers in doing EB-5s out of Vietnam. And I congratulate you on your 4th anniversary.